is of Lyell Glacier. It's the lower of two alpine meadows below the glacier after you've climbed up to the end of Lyell Canyon and then through a series of zigzags to get up to this point. And you can camp there. This was taken during our second trip over this section of the John Muir Trail. We've never walked it all the way through in one stretch, but we've covered a lot of it in section hikes. And this is probably my favorite section that we've covered so far. This was taken about 20 years ago, or maybe a little more, and we went with a couple of friends on this particular trip, and of the 4 or 5 different times we've been up here, 2 of those trips were just the right time of year, where you see all that beautiful green grass and the water is so deep in color and the skies are so blue and there's still these patches of snow. It's like the perfect time. Wildflowers everywhere along the trail when you get going. But to get here, you stop at the ranger station in Yosemite Valley just before Lyell Canyon at the head of it, and that's the trailhead for this section. And then you go, I think it's 7 miles to the end of the canyon. Then you work your way up until you get to this lower alpine meadow, and that's where we camp. You can only stay there for one night, I think, because a lot of people would like to camp there because it's so beautiful. But then you work your way up to the second. Now, you'll notice that in the top of the picture, there are these 2 little peaks in there where the glacier is. It used to cover the whole thing as a glacier, but ever since the 50s with global warming, it's gotten a little less each year until now it's completely bisected by the ridge of rocks there, but it's still a glacier. I guess they're not going to rename it into Part A and Part B. If you go down from the peak on the left towards the bottom of that V shape, just to the right of that shadow, just behind those rocks is that second alpine meadow, the higher one. And it's a lot more stark and beautiful. I'll have some pictures of that coming up later. So you make your way up there, and that's where we usually stop for lunch. And then you head off left behind the rock ridge that you see there. And at that point, you're hiking the long slog up to Donahue Pass at 11,000 plus feet. When you finally get up there, there's a nice pool of water that lasts almost all year round, and it's usually ice cold because it's snow melt. And on this particular trip, starting from the trailhead of Lyell Canyon, I carried all the way up there through the 2 alpine meadows, past Lyell Glacier, and up to Donahue Pass, a 4-pack of Boddingtons so that I could put it into the snowmelt and we could all have a nice ice-cold beer after 3 days of hiking or whatever it was to get up there, and it was well received by my traveling companions. After that, you go over the top of Donahue Pass and down into the Ansel Adams Wilderness. It's the border of Yosemite and the Ansel Adams Wilderness, and that's amazing country that is aptly named because it's the kind of photography available to you there that the master himself might have stopped to take a picture of. Anyway, that's this one. We've got a lot more to go. I think I've pulled out about 1,000 pictures out of the tens and tens of thousands of pictures I've taken over the last half century or more, 60 years since I've been photographing. And I've pulled the ones that I think are most memorable to me, and sometimes the ones that are also most graphically pleasing. They're not always the same thing. But anyway, this one came up first, so here it is, and I hope you enjoy looking over that natural beauty, and I enjoy looking over the memories of the people I've come up there and shared time with at that space.